Once, in a small town surrounded by mountains and rivers, there lived a young man named Samir. Samir was intelligent, full of talent, and had dreams larger than the mountains surrounding his town. Everyone around him noticed his potential, teachers praised him, friends admired him, and even strangers could see that he was destined for greatness. Yet, despite all this, Samir had a weakness that quietly ruled his life: laziness. From a young age, he developed the habit of postponing work, of taking shortcuts, and of believing that success could be achieved without effort. "I'll do it tomorrow," he would tell himself over and over, as if repeating the words made them true. At first, it seemed harmless. A missed assignment here, a delayed project there, but little by little, the consequences started stacking up. Opportunities that required immediate action slipped past him. He watched friends move forward, take chances, and achieve goals he had once dreamed of. The gap between what Samir wanted and what he had grew wider every day, but he refused to act. He preferred comfort over effort, the temporary pleasure of avoiding work over the long-term satisfaction of achievement. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Each day, laziness quietly collected its toll. Samir noticed his life feeling heavier, more stagnant, yet he didn't know why. He blamed bad luck, circumstances, and the people around him, never realizing that the one thing standing between him and his dreams was himself. One day, everything changed. Samir's old friend, Arman, who had once struggled like him but chose action over delay, returned to the town. Arman had started a small business after college, worked tirelessly, faced countless obstacles, but now he was successful, confident, and living the life Samir had always wanted. Seeing Arman thriving was like a mirror reflecting Samir's own failures. A pang of regret and shame struck him harder than anything before. He realized the painful truth: laziness had cost him years, opportunities, relationships, and the chance to live the life he deserved. That night, lying awake in his small, cluttered room, Samir faced the consequences of his choices. He thought of all the projects he never started, all the skills he never learned, and all the chances he let slip by. The thought of what could have been gnawed at him, and for the first time, he understood the price of laziness, not just as missed opportunities, but as lost potential, unfulfilled dreams, and a life that might never be lived to its fullest. Determined to change, Samir decided that he could no longer allow laziness to dictate his future. But change was not easy. The habits of a lifetime do not disappear overnight. Every morning, he struggled to get out of bed, every task felt like a mountain, and his old impulses constantly whispered, "Rest, you can do it later." Yet, the memory of wasted years and the fear of wasting more kept him going. He started with small, achievable goals. He woke up earlier, created daily routines, and held himself accountable. He reminded himself constantly that every small effort mattered, that each action taken was a step toward reclaiming the life he had lost. Slowly, Samir began to notice changes. Tasks that once seemed impossible became manageable. His confidence grew as he completed one goal after another. More importantly, he started feeling a sense of purpose, a feeling that had been absent from his life for far too long. But the story doesn't end here. Life tested him at every turn. There were moments when old habits tempted him, when failures made him question his ability to change, when the comfort of laziness seemed easier than the effort of action. Yet, each challenge strengthened his resolve. Samir learned an important truth: laziness is not just about avoiding work, it's about avoiding growth, avoiding discomfort, and avoiding the responsibility of shaping your life. He realized that true success and fulfillment come only to those willing to confront discomfort, to take action when it is hardest, and to refuse excuses. Years passed, and Samir transformed. He built a career he was proud of, cultivated meaningful relationships, and discovered a life full of purpose, joy, and satisfaction. More importantly, he carried a lesson he would never forget: laziness carries a price that no one can escape. It steals time, potential, opportunities, and dreams. It leaves behind regret, disappointment, and a sense of what could have been. Inspired by his journey, Samir decided to share his story with others. He wanted everyone to understand that it's never too late to take action, but it is always too late to waste time unnecessarily. He began creating videos, writing articles, and mentoring those who struggled with procrastination and laziness. And this is where you, dear viewer, come in. If you see yourself in Samir's story, if you recognize the patterns of procrastination and excuses in your own life, then take this as a call to action. Do not wait. The longer you delay, the more expensive the price of laziness becomes. Start today. Start now. Set your goals, take action, embrace discomfort, and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Because the life you dream of is not going to arrive on its own, it's waiting for the effort, discipline, and persistence that only you can provide. And if you feel motivated by Samir's journey, if his story resonates with you and sparks a desire to change, then subscribe to this channel. Join a community of people committed to growth, discipline, and action. Together, you can learn, grow, and push each other to overcome the habits that hold you back. Remember, the painful truth about laziness is universal, but so is the power to overcome it. The only question is, will you act, or will you continue paying the price?